We are now ready to do steps 4, 5, 6, and we're going to actually skip step 7. So for this step, you are going to need your board that you have already pinned down or taped down your plan. You're going to need your motor stick, scissors, one piece of balsa wood from your stick collection, the stick glue as well as the liquid glue, and your sandpaper. Okay, so for this, you're going to start with number 4, and you're going to put glue only on the hatched area on the plan. Okay, the hatched area is this area right here with these little crisscross lines. That's considered the hatch area. Some people will like to take the glue and put it directly on the paper. Others of you might want to put it actually on the stick. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue stick. Whenever we are gluing to the paper, we're going to use the glue stick. I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to put the glue across my paper over that hatched area. Okay. Again, you could put the glue on the wooden piece if you'd like. Okay, just like that. And you're going to very carefully lay it down on the plan to line it up with the pattern underneath. Okay, and just hold it there for a couple seconds until it sets up. For this next part, we're going to build the vertical stabilizer. Okay? And we're going to use our stick here, and we're going to lay it down over top of our plan. And using a pencil, or in my case, I'm going to use a marker so you guys can see where I'm marking. I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to put a little line here where I intend to cut my piece. I'm going to do the same thing up here. I'm going to cut it right there. Okay? So then I would take my scissors. Please make sure you're wearing your safety glasses as always. And I'm going to cut on the waist side of the line. Okay, so see how I can still see the line there from my marker? I'm going to repeat the other cut. Again on the waist side of the line. You want to make sure that you cut on the waist side so that way you're not cutting it too small from the get-go. So I'm going to lay it back down, and if I need to make any adjustments, okay, I'm going to use my sandpaper. Okay, so holding it close to where you're going to sand, so you want to hold it up here because you'll end up snapping the board. You just want to sand it down just ever so slightly, and then just make sure that it fits where you want it to fit, just like that. Okay. Again, we can always make it a little shorter, but we cannot make it longer. So then I'm going to take my other piece, okay, and again I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to lay it down on my board. And using my board, I'm going to line it up and then mark where I want to cut. Let's cut right there and right here. Okay. Same thing, cut on the waist side of the line, sand down if needed. Cut that. Make sure all these little pieces that are flying all over, that you pick them up, put them in the correct bin. Okay, so there are my 2 pieces for my rudder. Okay, my vertical stabilizer. So again, when you're gluing to the paper, wood to paper, you're going to use your glue stick. For this, I like to put the glue directly onto the board. Don't worry about it getting on your fingers. That will wash off. And I also want to take my liquid glue, and I want to put a little bit of liquid glue right here at the ends of so a little bit of liquid glue right there. Put that down on my board. When we're gluing paper to wood, we're using the glue stick. When we're gluing wood to wood, we're going to have liquid glue there. Okay, so just a little bit of liquid glue. You can't even see it. Dot, dot, not a lot. Glue is going to add a lot of weight to your airplane, so you definitely want to decrease the amount of glue that you need. You want to use just enough to do the job, not too much where you are adding a tremendous amount of weight. Again, I'm going to take my glue stick, wood to paper gets glue stick, and then wood to wood. You put a little dot right here at the top and a little dot at the bottom. Wood to wood gets liquid glue. Okay. Actually, my dot at the top is a little excessive, so if it's a little too much, just use your finger and wipe it off. I always wipe it on the back of my hand so that way it doesn't get stuck all over the place on my paper. Alright, just hold those in place, move them around as needed, and there you have your vertical stabilizer. Okay, you're going to want to let this dry, okay, which is actually step 7, where we're actually going to skip it. We're going to leave it on here to completely dry. We don't want to disrupt or break any of these joints that we have made by gluing it onto the paper. Just want to remind you here that the fuselage stick is not glued down to the left of the AB mark that we cut in the beginning. So it's just like that. And we're going to leave this on the board until much, much later. Okay, so that is steps 4, 5, and 6, and then skipping 7.